Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 11 o'clock in Honolulu, 4 o'clock in New York. It is Monday, November the 7th, 2016, and this is the Daily Report for Gold and Silver. What a difference a day makes. Statements coming out yesterday by the head of the FBI in regards to Hillary Clinton's ongoing investigation about her emails, which he said in essence has been closed down, no prosecution. We have seen a dramatic move to the downside in the precious metals, a dramatic move to the upside in equities, dollar, and crude oil, although crude oil unrelated to this news. Gold futures off $23 at $12.8150, the low $78.60 and the high $96.50. We were stopped out of our trade today. We did take a profit. Of course, we will talk about that as we pull up our first chart. Net change down about 1 3/4%. What's interesting about that is that gold had added much more premium to the price than silver did as it was moving up. And now you see where silver will typically lead the way both on the upside and downside in terms of percentages. We certainly aren't seeing that now. Silver is down. It's down hard, but it's only down about 0.9% or a 16-point drop at 1821. The low on the day is 18 even and the high 1829. Over to Forex, 1281 in terms of gold, and silver 1820. Lastly, a quick look, because this is a major influence and really providing a lot of downside pressure today, is the U.S. dollar index, which is up about 0.7% at 97.73. Let's take a look at our first chart. So traders, no doubt, uncertainty in the market, which was prevalent as we went in over the weekend as to the outcome of the election, has really diminished a bit, and there was a relief rally as the announcement was made yesterday. We saw gold, silver prices plunge. We saw the dollar aggressively move up, and that's the first chart that we are looking at today. This, traders, is of the dollar index. You can see that the dollar index is now at 98.10. It is up about 0.7%. And as you can see on a very short term, a linear regression, simply put, bullish channel lines are slightly bullish. It's almost an even. You can see that over the last, week and a half, we have seen no doubt a diminishing or an absolute decline, especially last week. Hits the bottom of this channel, actually closes right at, and then opens below the channel, only to close well into it, almost at the midpoint. Now, in terms of what that's actually done, we really need to take a look at the Kitco Gold Index, which I have just brought up to give you a sense for how that fits in. Now, there's no doubt the dollar itself really changed the equation. Now, if the dollar had remained neutral, we would have still seen this market down about 1% at, or down $11.75, $12 on the day, but you really need to double that because of the strengthening U.S. dollar. So today we had a combination about 50-50 in terms of the net change and percentage change, $11 minus in a strong dollar. And normal trading also selling gold pretty dramatically. Let's take a look at our first gold chart. So traders, first gold chart that we're going to look at today, it's a simple daily candlestick chart. We were absolutely stopped out of our trade today. We went long in essence at 12.59 and change, call it 12.60. That would have been right here. We then began to trail stops up. The last stop that we had trailed up was below 88, which was roughly at 85. Here is 90. And so our line right here is 86. So our stops were just below this point here. We were trying to protect ourselves under these these lows, As the market came down, it did stop us out. So we got in at 60 and out at 85 for approximately a $25 gain on the trade. I do apologize for those that took profits and then got back in, because you gave roughly half of those profits back. I wish I could say that that turned out differently, but the facts lie where the facts lie, and that is we had a dramatic change in perception due to statements made. This is all fundamental and rumor-based, so to speak, and it is what it is. We all made a profit on this trade, and so we will go into this election flat with no active trades, which, to be quite honest, is just the way I want it to be. Now, we will talk about some strategies that we will consider putting on as the election concludes, but for right now, we are absolutely flat with no active trades. So we're looking at a weekly chart, this in bar format, so we can pay particular attention to the highs and the lows of the market, because the question we are trying to ascertain right now is whether or not this most recent move, this of course being a weekly bar chart here, weekly bar chart totally, is whether or not we have sustained any long-term damage on a technical basis. And the first thing that becomes apparent is if we simply kind of draw a line from these series of lows right here and extend that, what you will see is that in fact our low and our close today are still above this particular trend line, and I believe that as long as it stays above this, this would be of course our support trend line. The second thing is the 23% retracement, which comes in at 1273, and we obviously did not come close to that. The market closing at, as I said, 81. So as we go into the elections, we will have one more report tomorrow as the election is underway, and we will tell you what our strategy is as we go to the conclusion of the election. But in essence, what we are looking at is as follows. The premium dumped out of the market when the thought was that Hillary Clinton has got a pretty sure path to the White House. As long as that sentiment remains the same, and as long as the facts which will unroll tomorrow support that, you could see more pressure in the precious metals. You will at least see them stabilize and move down rather than having a clip up. However, if by some odd chance the pundits are wrong, the polls are wrong, and there's this phenomenal surge, as Trump is saying, of undecided voters and silent voters, then you would see this premium, which just came out, moving back in. And so that's what we're going to be looking for on tomorrow's activity. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you on Election Day tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.